The World Health Organization has declared that stress has become the worldwide epidemic of the 21st century. And it seems that for many, living with stress has become a normal part of their lives. And yes, low levels of stress can help us accomplish tasks and serves as a vital warning system. But are you aware of what higher levels of stress do to your body? Stay until the end because I would like to share with you 3 tools that are free and that you can use every day to start reducing your levels of stress now. Whenever we find ourselves in situations that cause us stress, our sympathetic nervous system activates. This is known as the fight or flight mode, and it is a primitive and physiological response that prepares us to fight or flight from a perceived harmful event, an attack, or a threat to our survival. There are 2 keywords here: primitive and perceived. Both these words mean that we can't control this response, and also our bodies do not understand the difference between the stress from being chased by a tiger and the stress from running late to an important meeting or a pressing deadline at work. The fight or flight mode is triggered by the release of certain hormones that increase our blood and breathing rates as well as our blood pressure. Cortisol, for example, is known as the stress hormone and is released in response to stressful situations. And although it is also a normal and healthy part of our hormone system, being highly stressed on a daily basis increases our cortisol levels, which in turn has a negative impact on our health. So what happens when cortisol is high? If you were running away from a tiger and trying to save your life, this is what your body would look like. Blood circulation would be redirected to your muscles and your heart, and the digestive system would shut down so that you can focus all of your energy on surviving. Your immune system is suppressed, bone and collagen formation are reduced, there is damage to brain cells responsible for learning, and deep and restful sleep is suppressed. The symptoms of stress can, of course, vary for each person. So if you want to get an accurate diagnosis, you may want to consult with your doctor. But in general, if you suffer from any or all of the following symptoms, you are most likely stressed and your levels of cortisol are most likely high. Some emotional symptoms of stress include becoming easily agitated and moody, feelings of overwhelm, having a hard time relaxing and quieting the mind, low self-esteem, and depression. Physically, you may experience low energy, headaches, stomach problems such as diarrhea or constipation, aches, pains, and muscular tension, low immune system, which would cause you to be frequently ill, nervousness and cold or sweaty hands and feet, loss of sexual desire, and a clenched jaw. Other symptoms include constant worrying, inability to focus, poor judgment, incessant trains of thought, pessimism, and focusing on the negative side only. So how can we lower our levels of stress in a way that it's real and sustainable, especially when we have so many responsibilities and oftentimes we live busy and fast lives? Biologically, this would entail activating the opposite of the sympathetic nervous system, which means activating the parasympathetic nervous system. The parasympathetic nervous system controls homeostasis, which is a self-regulating process by which biological systems maintain stability. Also, the parasympathetic nervous system is responsible for the body's rest and digest functions. Basically, this means that the parasympathetic nervous system restores the body into a state of calm and gives way to the process of healing. Depending on how stressed you are in your everyday life, you may need to seek professional help, something for which you should never be ashamed of. We also have many tools available to us that we can use to not let stress accumulate and fester, and many of these tools are for free. The first tool I'll recommend is a paid wellness app that also has a free part. Meditopia describes itself as a life-changing personal approach to your mental well-being. They have an incredible array of mindfulness programs that have been scientifically proved to be effective and that have been created by mental well-being experts from around the world. They also have an abundance of relaxing music, which I have personally begun to include in my non-guided meditations. Many of the programs focus on reducing stress, motivation, practicing gratitude, and more. I highly recommend that you give it a chance and see how it goes for you and helps you reduce your daily levels of stress. The second tool I'll recommend is the ancient yogic practice of Nadi Shodhana. It comes from Sanskrit and it means purification of the channels, and it is said to balance both hemispheres of our brains as well as our emotions. The practice consists of a simple 5-minute exercise when we breathe in and breathe out through the nostrils consecutively. If you want a full demonstration for this, you can click on this video here and check it out. Only 5 minutes of doing Nadi Shodhana will leave you feeling relaxed, balanced, and replenished. Everything you need to activate the parasympathetic nervous system. My third and last tool, which is more of a recommendation, is to spend time in silence every day and in nature if possible. Because when our lives are always full, we can't think clearly anymore, and we lose sight of what life is all about, which in turn creates more stress. When we take time for ourselves and quiet the constant and oftentimes meaningless chatter of the mind, we can become aware of what is essential for us and reconnect to the deepest parts of our beings. And this is a powerful source of happiness, peace, and a stress-free life. Find a green park in your city, go to the forest, or at the very least, find a quiet corner in your home or in your office and take 10 minutes for yourself to be silent and still with no objective other than giving yourself a much needed break, especially from the life situations that may cause you stress. So this has been today's wellness video, and from 0 to 10, how stressed would you say that you are in your everyday life? Would you consider giving my recommendations a try? Thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a like if the information served you well. And before you leave, remember to subscribe to my channel and ring the bell to get notified on the upcoming wellness videos. Again, thank you, and I will see you next time.